Congratulations to you, my executive level sis, for busting out that 45-minute workout, likely before work or maybe after work. But I'm going to tell you something, it's not enough. I know you have been saying you're getting it in and you're checked for the day. It's just not enough. And I need to let you know that we as executive level women need to devise an executive performance system that's going to work with our biology. This is for women who are likely 45, 40 years and up, going through perimenopause, menopause. You need to go through what I call your executive biology audit, which is what we're doing here. So, today, what I want to do is I want to share with you how you can create a movement map or like movement snacks, whichever you prefer. Okay. Play this video during one of your employee resource group meetings or your corporate executive roundtable, and I guarantee you it will be well worth your time and value for you. All right. I'll see you in the video. If you're anything like me, just getting that 45-minute workout is like, whew, man, I did good today, right? And you feel good. You go throughout your day, and it's likely you're sitting, right? You're sitting for the rest of the day. And some of us, like me, I'm like, okay, no big deal because I got my workout in. But the research shows that we women, executive level women, women 40, 45 plus women who going through perimenopause, menopause, need to develop a strategy that complements our biology. Why? Because we're going to get tired. We're dealing with brain fog. We feel like a little kind of stressed, uneasy. And that 45-minute workout may be stressing you out. It could be messing with your cortisol. And I want to let you know, I don't want to discount that 45-minute workout that you did in the morning time because it is worth something. We do have to get strength training in, and hopefully during that 45 minutes, you're strength training and you're moving a little bit. And I know if you're like me, when we were doing these 45-minute workouts, hour workouts in the morning time, we had to rush back home, get the kids ready, get them out the door. But this is something that I need us all to know. And the only reason why I know this is because me personally, as a corporate woman, I got that 45-minute workout in and I felt really, really good about it. But I also knew that as I've been aging, and I'm at the age of 57 now, preparing for a bodybuilding competition, I kind of realized, oh my gosh, what I'm dealing with is a lot more than what I was dealing with in my 20s and 30s. And it's requiring me to move, to help my mental health, to help my physical health, to help me be able to get through a lot of the things that I'm seeing right now in my biology. So I just want to share with you, how many of you guys feel that you've put on 20, 25 pounds without really not needing doing anything different, even with that 45-minute workout? How many of you feel really disjointed? You feel like your brain just can't calculate things fast enough. You're extra tired in the evening time. You seem like you don't want to connect physically with your partner like you used to. You seem to be feeling a sense of lacking joy. Your body seems to be dry. All these things contribute or actually are reflective of a woman that's going through perimenopause and menopause. And that's the reason why this conversation is necessary, because no one's talking about this in corporate circles. We're saying, oh, we lack ambition, according to McKinsey, or we're burnt out, or and, but no one's talking about what the fundamental issue is, and that is your biology, my sister. And so I want to share with you, if you've never been with me before, my name is Diana Patton. I am your authentic power strategist. I talk and dare to say things that no one else likes to talk about. Yet that is the direct link to my trust, to the integrity, and the accountability that we like to build within our Rise Advocates movement and within our Rise Advocates community. I do a lot of consulting. I actually have an academy where we help women go through our 12-week deep dive. And a part of our work is looking at our biology. And that's the reason why this series that we're doing right now is related to our executive biology audit. And we're developing what we're calling an executive performance system. And within this executive performance system, we are talking about movement and why women, and this is a study that I actually shared in one of my last videos, that it says that the more education that you have, the more degrees you have, the more success you have, the less you move, the less you are active, and you're sitting for 6 hours or more. And so, what we are going to achieve in today's video is we're going to learn how we can create a movement map. Because there are a lot of times during your day, if you're intentional about it, that you can create movement within your day. Because it's not likely that a lot of us have an hour and a half in the evening time after our 8 to 5, 7 to 5, okay, or 9 to 5 job to be able to just go out and walk for an hour and a half. Right? I never could understand it. And obviously, people who play golf prioritize playing golf. That takes a good hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours to get through all those holes. Actually, half of that, and then another 2 hours on top of that. That's 4 hours. Who gets 4 hours to do that during the day? And I'm thinking that's great when people prioritize that. And this is what we need to do is we need to prioritize this in our lives. So we're going to have to try and find throughout our day another hour or hour and a half where we're actually moving. Now, here's the beautiful part about it is you can actually do work at the same time when you're creating what we're calling our movement map. And the map signifies that during your day, we're going to ask you to take a look at what you're doing to see where you can actually implement various movement in your day. So I want to give you a little bit more context. The reason why it's important for us to move is we are going to be able to reduce our cortisol. Cortisol actually puts fat on our bellies and in our midsection. Why? Because when we decrease our estrogen and progesterone, our adrenal glands actually secrete more cortisol. And this cortisol is highest typically in the morning time, and it will taper out throughout the day. And we typically should not be doing really hard, challenging things in the evening because we need to start working toward getting to sleep. So there's a whole biochemical, bioreactive system that our body needs to adhere to, even though our corporate culture says we have got to do these things. Now, a number of women that I know work from home or they're on Zoom. And so they do have a little bit more flexibility. And sometimes that flexibility turns into, I would call, at home cuffs because we work overtime. And so, for the people that are joining in this community, we are about intention. We understand the reason why we need to move. We need to lower our cortisol levels, which will lower our stress, which will actually decrease the consumption, the accumulation of fat in our midsection, which primarily results in visceral fat. The visceral fat is that fat that surrounds our important organs, which is deadly. It leads to heart attacks, high blood pressure, diabetes, because our insulin is too high. And if you've been following along in our executive biology audit, we talk about our metabolic numbers. But here in this particular executive performance system, and I really encourage you to actually go back and watch those videos, by the way. But in devising this executive performance system, we are looking at methods that we can actually implement into our corporate life that will allow us to attain success in that area as well. And people just have it twisted. They think, is this professional development? Is this going to help me in my professional development? Well, my sister, you're not going to have any professional development if you are sick and tired and have no energy. You got to get your priorities straight. And in this community, our biology is a priority. You want to speak up with confidence. You want to negotiate, get hard, complex deals. You want to be able to do work overtime. Sometimes we have to have days where we have to put extra work in. You got to have this tight. No pun intended on the abs, right? We got to get tight in this area so that we can perform high in these other areas. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read to you, like I always do in these videos, from our weekly newsletter, our Rise 53 Inner Circle newsletter. If you would just give me a moment and I will explain to you about the Rise 53 because it's critical to your professional and personal development. We have people who subscribe to our Rise 53 Inner Circle. It's a weekly newsletter that goes out every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with coaching messages that will signal to you to do some things during your day. Because often I hear from people, oh, I wish I had a coach or a business coach, someone that could help me stay focused, stay organized, and to grow. Well, this is it. This is it because typically my coaching services one on one are very expensive. But when we actually do it in a group, it lowers the cost, creates community and alignment with what you're doing, and it's much more enjoyable. So, what I do every single week in this video that is published on LinkedIn and on YouTube is I read from these Monday newsletters. So, I'm going to do that right now. All right. So, here's what I want to share with you that we want you to look at. And I'm actually going to put on my handy dandy glasses because I am of a beautiful age. So, what we want to do is we want to look at what we're doing during the day because your body will adapt to the patterns that you have. In any person that's successful, any individual that is successful really has conquered what I would say the primary thing that is a success factor is pattern recognition. When we start to recognize our patterns, we have more of an ability to be able to create new ones. So here's what we're going to be doing to recognize certain patterns. And I want to have you get out of this mindset that you are a stationary object. Your physical being. You are not a stationary object. All throughout your day, you are having things move in your body. Your heart is beating, your food is digesting, you're drinking this water and it's digesting. Some people are not having great digestion, which we will talk about in other videos, and our blood is flowing. So your body is still in movement. To the extent that you can actually create more movement in your life, the better you're going to make these other mechanisms work for you because you are not a stationary object. Raise your right hand. Say, I am not a stationary object. That's correct. You are not a stationary object. So your day is already structured, right? You likely have meetings in your calendar, right? You have calls, you have work blocks where you say, okay, over these next 4 hours, I'm going to do XYZ amount of work. And you have certain transitions. These are transitions to go to lunch, transitions to take a break. Some of y'all ain't taking breaks. You're not taking your lunch breaks, which is horrible. You need to start doing that. It's just not wise, my sister, right? These transitions. So, what I want you to recognize is that you actually have certain types of structure in your day. Would you agree to that? Yes? Okay, good. So here's how we're going to start to look at each day. Look at your typical weekday. All right, look at your typical weekday. Write down your schedule, everything that you do. For those of you who are in consulting or you actually were in law firms, you know what this is like because you've been taught to actually write down all the things that you do. Then note where you sit the longest. When do you sit the longest? And what days do you typically sit the longest? Where are your transitions? Where do they already exist? and note where movement could naturally fit in. So, I want to also let you know there are transitions of when you are walking from your transitions from your car to a meeting, transition from your office to the parking lot. I want you to include all those activities in your day. All right. Now, what we are going to do is now layer in certain things called triggers. Okay. So these are the times when you can actually build in movement. And here they are. When you have a call, I want you to think about walking. I used to be in my house, and when I would get a call, I would always get my broom and I would start to sweep. I would start to sweep the floor because I was like, it's just one, it was like a good mindful thing for me to do. And it also cleaned my house. So, a call, consider walking. A meeting, consider standing up. What am I doing right now? I'm standing up, right? I'm doing a video and I'm standing up, right? Here, if I keep going like this, I could probably get 50 steps in just doing this video, right? Just kind of moving back and forth and going back and forth because I'm moving right now, right? A break, move. You're on a break, go for a walk. Set your timer for 10 minutes. Just walk around the office. All right. Transition, reset. You could either reset or you could actually start to move during that transition and count those steps. So here's the thing is I don't want you to guess about what you're doing. I want you to start to design your own movement, right? And I like to call this designing what's called your movement map. And you're training your body to work with you, right? Um, what I don't want you to do is leave your body to chance, right? Because often when we're trying to get energy, movement creates energy. Say that with me. Movement creates energy. Yes, movement creates energy. So the more that you can move, the more you're creating energy. And often, and here's something that I want you to consider is after you eat, after you have a snack, okay, if you are literally eating some sort of food, you're having your lunch or an afternoon snack, I want you to commit to building in a block of 10 to 5 minutes of walking after that. And the reason why is because what you can begin to do is utilize those calories, those macros for energy, right? You can use that macro, those calories, macros that you're eating, carbohydrates, the proteins, and the fats for energy. And that it will make your day flow so much better. It's actually going to help your brain health. It's going to reduce brain fog. It's going to create some more blood flow within your system, lower your blood pressure. Your glucose levels are going to reduce. As a result of that, you'll have more energy. This is a sustainable system. I know works because I actually do this. And so, this is what we're going to be creating today. This is not a very long process. This is something very simple that you can implement. Creating your own movement map, creating movement snacks along the way, and utilizing this to make you in control of your body and your biology and your executive performance system. Does this sound good? This is easy. This is critical for you to be talking about in your employee resource groups. Why not have employee resource groups that walk? It's just so unheard of to do that, but consider it. So hopefully you play this during one of your meetings, or for some of you, you need to just play it to yourself, share it with a friend. Why not you guys commit together to creating a movement map together? Um, Sometimes they don't always align, but at least sharing it with an accountability partner works. Does that sound good? Okay. Well, we're going to be continuing conversations about our executive biology audit, which is a part of our authentic power strategies within LinkedIn. If you are not subscribed to our weekly LinkedIn, I would ask you to subscribe. Share this subscription with someone that you know. Or if you're on YouTube, ring that bell so that you can be subscribed to content that is going to be coming out. We do this every single week. and we see that our subscribers are growing, and we thank you so much for growing with us. Now, if you want to take this a step further and you said you've heard me talk about the Rise 53, then just follow the link and get on our wait list, and we'll let you know when that becomes open again. And also for those executive level women who want to take it further and do our 12-week Rise Advocates Academy, we will have a link in here as well. Or if your organization wants to bring me in to have conversations like this, like our Influencer for Good conversations that we have with the organization and leadership development, we definitely have that as well. All right. Thank you so much for following along, and I will see you in the next video.